What's up, everybody? Dark Cosmic here, back with another astrology video. Today I want to talk about Venus in the 9th house and what it's like for an individual to have their planet Venus being in the 9th house. Pardon me. So, what is Venus? Venus is the inner feminine energy within everybody. Venus is the inner princess-like energy within everybody. Pardon me. Venus governs the zodiac signs Libra and Taurus. Just as a side note, so if you want to understand Venus, study Venusian people like Taurus and Libra people. Venus loves stability. Venus loves to lounge around. Venus loves beauty, the arts. Venus loves partnership, communication. Venus loves specifically one-on-one partnership, the connection that you create between two people rather than three. That's the preference for Venus. It's a more personable zodiac sign because it's meant for relationships. It's built for relationships. So this is the inner princess energy within everybody, and we're going to put her into the 9th house. And the way I like to look at the planets in this particular case, we're talking about Venus, I like to look at them like they are individuals, and the houses are places that we're going to insert this individual and see, what happens when this individual is placed here. So the 9th house is ruled by the zodiac sign Sagittarius. The 9th house is about freedom. It's about wisdom and philosophy, experience, higher learning, travel, recklessness, pushing the limits, having a target and aiming there, having a goal to achieve. Having a goal to achieve, and either achieving that goal through wisdom and experience, or achieving that goal with excessive action, whether that is good or bad. The 9th house represents expansion. It represents the higher viewpoint, the higher perspective, rather than the lower perspective or the mundane perspective. It is the future and not so much the past. So we're going to place Venus here. Venus, she does okay here. She's not exactly where she needs to be, but she can work with this energy better. Because the previous house was the 8th house. That's where Venus did not want to be. So you'll notice as Venus leaves, whatever house Venus had the least preference for, the next house after that isn't going to be exactly where it wants to be, but it's better than it was before. It's like this is better than the 8th house, but this ain't really where I want to be. It's okay. This is like lukewarm where Venus is okay, because now Venus is thrusted into a world of wanting to experience freedom now, and wanting to experience, travel, distance, and it's still in a mode of pushing itself further out rather than just maintaining, and rather than, it's like you take this princess, and instead of just letting her sit in her house and enjoy sipping wine, eating grapes, watching her favorite movies in comfort, and having her maids take care of her and pamper her, and having her talk to her beautiful partner, whether male or female, the things she loves doing and enjoying, looking at beautiful art. You take her and now you're like, okay, now you got to go on a journey and get a lot of experience, and you got to be free, and you got to cut ties with people all the time. You're going to be free though. Isn't that great? And Venus is like, I mean, I guess that sounds exciting, but aren't I going to be a little lonely if I go on this path? So Venus is okay here because it's an exciting house. It's a fun-loving house, a house of joy, but there's an air of distance between people now. The freedom comes at a cost, if you will. So what are these people like? This is similar to having Venus in Sagittarius. So these people need a lot of freedom when it comes to their love life. They don't like to be restricted. Situations in love matters or relationships in general a lot of times relationships in general can start to feel like a cage to these people. And because of that, they tend to hop from relationship to relationship. And as a result of that too, they tend to have a lot of experience. So the plus side is they have a lot of experience in relationships, or even and when I say relationships, I just mean in general, in dealing with people, one-on-one connections with people. They tend to have a lot of experience in this area. But they are like the teacher that is not the example of the wisdom that is being told. It's like a man or a woman that, had like, I don't know, 100 partners, right? And they're telling you should be married and you should do this because this is that and the third, and this is how men act or this is how women act, and you should know this, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, but you're single and bitter. How do you know all this stuff? Like, how are you going to tell me about relationships? And you're single and bitter, and they have all this experience, but they are not the example because they so stuck on being free though. And that's their problem. They don't realize, they might realize that in the end of their days, like, dang, I just kept hopping out of situation and situation just for the sake of feeling free, because everything just felt like a cage all the time. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but I'm just saying, a lot of times you'll see they aren't the real example of what they're talking about all the time, So, or they can be. It depends on what other placements that they have. They can or cannot be this example. It's also like a two-way street where maybe they don't have any experience at all, and so the universe is sending them situation after situation for them to gain this experience, or situation after situation in which they are told, you lack experience, you need to free yourself, run away, live your life, like you thinking too small, you need to be thinking big. Situations like that might come to them all the time. The universe might be sending them this type of energy to help them to free themselves from whatever bondage that they are in. So it is either A, they are a person that enjoys pushing their limits, testing their freedom, or B, the universe is constantly sending people their way, sending information their way that is telling them to free themselves from whatever it is that they are in. I guess the last version of this placement would be somebody who, even though they have it good, they still want to be free. They can have it real good, but they still think, I don't care, I'm just gonna leave. Because freedom is that important to them. So it could be that too, that type of stuff as well. So, but they have a lot of experience, they have a lot of wisdom. In love, they may go too far sometimes, and be embarrassed. They cross boundaries, they might, because the ninth house represents expansion, it represents a goal. So sometimes they are excessively pushing their boundaries or pushing the boundaries of others in order to reach a goal. I can give an example here, I guess. This could be like somebody that is a stalker, right? And this is ironic, right? Because you would think the zodiac sign appreciates freedom and all that, but that doesn't always mean that they want the other person to be free, So they might push their boundaries onto other people whilst they need to be free, cheat excessively in a relationship, but that doesn't mean that they want their partner to do that. That's why a lot of Sagittarius energy can get like a stigma of being cheater and all that stuff, because a lot of times they're not always the type to want their partner to be free, because they are the one with the freedom energy. It doesn't mean that they want their partner to be free, though. That's Aquarius territory. If we go, that's the Aquarius territory, and Aquarius is a friendly sign to Sagittarius because they both have freedom in common. But Aquarius is more than likely to want their partner to be equally as free as they are. More than likely, they are more, because they are about a group. Sagittarius is just a goal-oriented zodiac sign who pushes their limits. And it's still fire. So fire is innately selfish. So these people, they can be boundary. They tend to cross boundaries a lot. This could be like stalker energy. This can be somebody who, rummages through your phone. They push in their limits when it comes to relationships. On the good aspect of this is these people are extremely fun-loving. They don't want to be in a serious they don't want to be in a serious relationship. And that is for the most part, they don't want a serious relationship. And that, when I say that, I mean that on many levels. They don't want a serious relationship, meaning they don't want a relationship where you can't fucking laugh and joke with each other. Fuck that shit. And some of them don't want a serious relationship, period. They're just, they're here for a good time and not a long time. So this is a fun-loving, boundary-pushing, wisdom-seeking placement, And and why do they have this placement? A lot of times this is because their end goal is just to have wisdom anyway. You can have the wisdom and not have to stick it out with people. You don't have to stick it out with people in order for you to gain wisdom, but you will just forever be the person who doesn't look like the shit they're preaching, though. So they can be very wise, but that doesn't mean that they're gonna look like what they're preaching. They can be that single person who's telling everybody to get married and go get baptized, etc. They can be very religious too. These people love religion. They love spirituality. They love wisdom. Period. Most of them are very religious for the most part because they have a love for higher learning, and most people tend to go towards religion when it comes to higher learning. All right. What else can I say? I'm just gonna go to the women that have this placement. So the women with this placement, Venus for women is how you express your feminine energy in your youth. So these women, when they were younger, they were more seeking wisdom, seeking extreme situations, seeking to test their limits, for the thrill, for the fun, Let me see how many guys I can entertain. And because this is more of a one-on-one thing, how many guys I can entertain, how many relationships I can make, or let me see how many deals, like, to get off the relationship thing, right? Because Venus is also a planet that is based off of making deals with people. So this could be a woman that was a salesman, How many deals can I make? How many sales can I make? How many agreements can I make with people in order to advance myself? So this woman might have been extremely ambitious and pushing and goal-oriented in her youth. And depending on whatever her moon sign is, she might not be like that anymore as she gets older, though. She was very independent in her youth, for the most part. But some women hold on to their Venus energy till they go to the grave. But most of them transition more into their moon sign energy. So it just depends on who you are. It's not always across the board the same. So this is how they express their feminine energy in their youth. Freedom seeking, wisdom seeking, pushing their boundaries. And if you combine the two, Venus and ninth house, they are seeking to, they are trying to, their goal is to make partnerships, to make deals, make deals, to communicate with other people, to what else? All right, I'll stop there. So let's go to the men. Men with this position. Men with Venus in the 9th house are seeking women that are wise in relationships, are seeking women that, you know, have a little thrill to them, have a sense of a thrill, you know, women that love thrills, you know, women that, you know, this man is seeking a woman that would love to skydive with him, or a woman that would love to travel with him, a woman that would love to seek the highest of wisdom with him, a woman that is, you know, that has graduated from college, you know, that a woman that is well versed in a lot of maybe languages or something, you know. So a woman that has pushed her limits, that has a goal, because that's why Sagittarius has the arrow. She has a goal, and she has reached this goal that was very far away from her, you know. I don't know if I said that. This placement is somebody who loves to travel as well. They have a love for travel. So both the men and the women, they have a love for travel as well. The men here are also seeking women that are sexually experienced as well. Ironically, they don't want a woman, when they get with her, they don't want her to not know how to do anything. They want her to be very well versed. So ironically, they tend to be okay. This is not every single man, but some of them can be very okay with a woman that has a rap sheet, if you will, a long rap sheet, a history, because to them, they're like, well, she knows how to work that thing, and that's a plus to him. They want her to be experienced, man. They don't want her to be a little girl, because Sagittarius, the 9th house, is an experienced house. So that's all I would say about this placement. I hope you guys enjoyed the video.